And welcome to Winging It.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Winging It.
Hello, everybody. Spin. Hello, Spin. Welcome, welcome.
Spin.
We haven't seen Jasmine in a while. I think it's because my hair is not so nice. So I think think we scared her away with my ugly hair. Please come back, Jasmine.
If he doesn't do his hair, I'm not showing up.
I will cut my hair just for you. Please come back. She's nice. She's so nice. So, yeah. I mean, everybody who comes here is nice, but
everybody is nice.
It's amazing what a nice group of people we have. Actually, before we started, Bobby and I were talking about our community, you know, that we're a little community now. I can't even speak anymore. Community. So, I don't know. Anything? We have, we're winging it tonight, so we don't.
Yeah, we are winging it. I don't know. We can talk about working with people. How important it is to. Okay. Here's a question for you. Hey, there's Jasmine.
Jasmine, my dear Jasmine, I was just saying I was worried because we didn't say hello, everybody. Hi, Nick. Hi, Miles. But Jasmine, we were just talking about you. First of all, we were saying how nice you are. And then we said, everybody here is nice. But I said, you weren't here last week. And I said, I was afraid that because I didn't cut my hair nice and didn't put gel, I thought maybe Jasmine is not going to come back. I was so worried. But you're not here just for the hair, are you? So that's good to know. So for that, I will do my best to make it really stylish next week. Okay. I'm going to try and commit that to memory. So, but welcome everybody. I'm so happy to see everybody here coming every week, and it's fine if you miss a week. Don't worry. Anyway, Bobby, you were saying, but welcome everybody. Nice to see you, Jasmine.
Right. Working with people, working relationships, maintaining relationships. Right. Drawing the line between, not drawing the line, but being friendly and being authentic, but also being professional.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
You know,
this is a hard one.
I know myself, right? I like to be super, like, I will call you, I'll be like, let's just go hang out, right? If I like the person, I'll be like, let's just go hang out. I don't know how appropriate that is in the professional context.
See,
you know?
Okay, so I'll give you an example with Trevor. So he's a client that I've had for more than 20 years now. And he's what I call a lifelong client, but we're friends, like legit friends, you know. And this happened over a period of time. And I think it's, you know, he's very authentic, very authentic. Like if we're working on something and he doesn't like the music, he's like, dude, that's shit. What were you thinking?
Fair enough.
I don't take it personally, but
right.
But he's really direct and he's
straight to the point.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, we worked on so many projects, so we'd be like, hey man, let's go get some pho. And there's this great place over here. We'll go and you know, and we would go to Chinatown and we'd get some pho and, you know, pho, by the way, if you don't know, are Vietnamese noodles.
Right.
And we're happy to see
good.
you, Jasmine. We are very happy to see you back. So yeah, I think, over time, a legit friendship formed, right? And then he started inviting me to like functions, you know, and just things, you know, and I never made any other real client contacts through him, but, you know, I met some of his friends because we were talking about a relationship over 20 years, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, and he would come to the studio and I'd work on tracks and he would give me his input. And, you know, he went and got this job down in Australia, which, you know about, and hired Orb Soundworks, you know? So, yeah, I think, you know, this idea of authenticity, you know, it's something I think about a lot. And I think that the problem about working relationships with people, I think it's like, especially in LA, in Hollywood, where I was for 6 years. And my friend just went to the Oscars, my best friend from childhood. In fact, his team won an Oscar. And anyway, he was just telling me how torturous it was, like the fakeness, and the Oscars are like such bullshit. And he was just like, it's over. It's over. And by the way, I won't say what he won for, because now I don't want to get him in trouble with anybody else out there. He won for something. So anyway, but he was just telling me, like, it's just torturous, you know, and the after parties and the, you know, because he is like me, and it's why we've been best friends for so long. He's completely authentic. So let's see, Nick, I'm going to try and be good about the chat. Nick is just saying, it's funny, we were just talking about this last night. I just came from a short road trip by a few states, and I noticed how much my demeanor changed ever since employment and how I treated hotel staff. Yeah. I mean, everything in life, your job, you know, career, because your job and your career is not necessarily the same thing, right? So my career is composing, and for fun and enjoyment, and, you know, because I get lonely sometimes, I teach. I have a teaching job, but that's not my career, right? So anyway, your interpersonal relationships, your family, your friends, our community here on the stream, it's all about relationships. And so last week, for example, I did something really nice to deepen the relationship with Spin and with Kiwi and with Nick and Miles and Jasmine. I released all source materials. By the way, if you weren't here last week, you missed a good one. I released all of the source materials, MIDI files, instruments, everything, stem mixes, so you can 100% recreate Pac-Man World 2 with all the original sounds that I did, including my David Logan recorded drums, my David Logan bongos. Unfortunately, on Bare Basics, the DAW Samba did not get used. And but one thing at a time. Maybe we'll get to the treetops eventually. But I guess the point is, you know, authenticity, this idea of being real. You know, I really care about everybody here, you know, in our stream. They're my friends now, you know, and this whole idea of like, well, in the real world, it's like, fuck off. This is the real world. These are my real friends. You can call me a loser because I have some online friends.
But they're real people. I mean,
what?
You know, yeah, they are real people.
Exactly. They're real human beings. You know, I was even thinking once, like, if I ever became rich, like, I would just get everybody tickets to come fly out to Italy, and I'd host them, you know. I care, Bobby. I care deeply about people. I get very attached. I care about you, care about Emanuele. I care about our wonderful community that we've built. And I care about my clients, very much so. So when we talk about, you know, working relationships and being authentic, like, all people all the time are all playing a part, putting on a show to a certain degree. Yeah. They are. Yeah. It's just a question of which degree.
I noticed that about myself, and I told my wife this. I said that, like, I don't know who the guy is that turns around and starts talking to people because this guy doesn't want to talk to anybody. You know, I just want to be in my own head and think about it and people watch and stuff. But for some reason, there's another guy who turns around and just starts talking to people. And it's interesting how we have those various versions of ourselves.
We go to a different part of ourselves, right? And so you're like, who is that guy? You know, like, a lot of people wouldn't know this about me, but, you know, I am painfully shy, actually. Yeah. And I am a complete introvert, and I am completely a secluded recluse hermit. And I mean, I remember my first time ever teaching, like, I was shaking practically. And then, like, my second class, I'm like, okay, so you, and I just called everyone you. And I said, I guess at a certain point I have to stop calling you you. And when you raise your hand and learn your names, huh?
Right.
And that was when I started to address their humanity. And then that just, you know, made it a little more comfortable. And then, you know, streaming, you know, is also, you know, it's something I really enjoy, but I'm not naturally like that. and so, yeah, like I put on a bit of a character when I do this stream, like
Right.
I've been horribly depressed the last 3 days. In fact, Bobby, I'm sure you put 2 and 2 together, me not coming to the meetings and can we do it another day? And, fortunately, today I sort of put my head into it and said, you know what, you got to be there for Jasmine and Nick and Spin and Kiwi and Miles and Zofanto. Sorry, I didn't learn everyone's name. And so here I am. But yeah, I think that it is entirely possible because everybody knows, right, that everybody's playing a part, right? So I don't think it's a mystery.
Is it? I mean, described like that, it almost sounds like a psychological issue. But
isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, we all have our private self, and we all have our public self, and we all have the person who is in the mood to hang out, and the person who's not in the mood to hang out, right? So, yeah.
I mean, look. You know what? I think authenticity is everything, and I think what you said there about everybody has a public life and a private life. And there's also a secret life, by the way, which is, what guides some of our motivations as well. So, but I think that, again, like, if I mean, I guess what I'm saying is if I, have been working with someone like our Stockholm client, for example, when I was in Stockholm and I was setting up an audio pipeline, I was there for about 5 days or so, and every day I had lunch with the team, and I really liked them. And, the main point of contact that I have over there, he's super cool. And if I lived in Stockholm, I would invite him to my house for dinner. I'd just say, hey man, I really like you. I think you're a great guy. And it'd, be wonderful if you would want to come over and have dinner. And, my girlfriend is a great cook and so am I, and you'll eat well. And would you like to join us? Hey, but only if you really feel it. I think that, like what we talked about before, that this idea of, building real authentic relationships, and I think that, so in other words, if you're inviting someone just to strengthen your business relationship, I don't think that means as much, doesn't have as much weight to it, I don't think, as if you just say, hey man, like, for no other reason than I like you, would you like to come into my home? Right. And it changes the relationship. And so, Trevor, who, I would say is my best client, because he's been with me a long time and hired me for tons of gigs. Right. Like it just sort of evolved naturally. I don't even remember when we became friends, but we're friends, and sometimes we talk hours on the phone over just, the stock market and the financial markets and just, everything going on in the world and nothing to do with work, right. And there's no incentive for me. And right now I'm not working with him. He's got no gigs for me. Right. But I care deeply for him, and if he ever needed me, I'd be there in 2 seconds for him, and vice versa. I know if I ever needed a real friend to talk to, he would listen. So, so in other words, when I call him to just be like, because the other day I was just like, dude, it's been a long time, man, we should catch up. And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm not calling him because I'm hoping he's going to hire me on some new project.
Right.
I just want to be in touch with my friend, because that's what friends do. Right. So I think it just, at some point, it naturally evolved through the series of, and I just realized one of the key ingredients here. We both loved the band, The English Beat. Remember the Beat from last week, guys? The Beat. You weren't there, Bobby, but anyway, this band that I grew up with. And so, I keep the box set on my speaker as just a reminder every day, the English Beat. So actually, here, let's do that so people can see. This is the Beat. So we did a little trivia thing last week because JT Scott said it's a beat, right? And I was like, of course, meaning a rhythm beat that sounds like from the band The English Beat. So we called it a beat beat. And then I said, I'll pay $1 million to anyone who knows what I'm talking about. And of course, nobody got it. So, and we gave hints, good ones too.
Well, it's a good thing because I think I'm not sure if you have that much cash on hand.
For what?
To pay out $1 million.
Oh, yeah, we don't have that much cash on hand. I don't think I said 1 million, but I think, I don't know what I said. But anyway, so Trevor loves that band too. And we're both from Toronto. So there was this common bond over music, you know. Right. And I remember once he had, there was another band related to that same band that was in the same scene and played similar music. They were called Bad Manners. And he had a vinyl LP of Bad Manners. And he brought it one day to my studio and he's like, dude, is there any way you can like make this an MP3? And I'm like, of course, man. Of course I can. And I had a USB record player. So it played in audio, RCA cables, or USB. So I just did a direct rip. And, you know, so these are just authentic. It was authentic, you know. But like I said, I think we're all playing a part. And I think where it gets dicey, I suppose, is when you are being in some way disingenuous, because I think disingenuous is maybe one of the worst qualities anyone can have. It's worse than being a liar, right? Because it's when you pretend to know more or less information to gain something from someone, right? So, you know, So for example, like to pretend to be somebody's friend because you know they can hire you for a gig, that's not good, you know?
Right.
Now, Emanuela and I are family. Like, I mean, really, like he's been with me for like almost 10 years, man. And I'd literally give him a kidney or a lung. I'd give you one too, Bobby, just so you know. And you're part of the family. But you and I are still, you know, we're still getting to know each other, really, you know. Anyway, but with Emanuela, it's like I don't have to like, you know, shower him with, you know, affection every day and, you know, and always ask him how you're doing. Even though I do very often, I ask him, how are you? What's going on? Just social call. I'll say just a social call. So in other words, there are times where I don't want to hear from him.
Isn't that interesting though? And I'm going to say this in an extreme way, but I don't want to genuinely mean it this way. We treat family the worst.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of true.
You know, that's true because we are our real self, and it's like, you know what? Just shut up. I don't want to talk to you right now. Right. And that's the only person that you feel comfortable enough saying it to.
You know, that's a very, very good point. And I find the closer I am to anybody, the less I need to talk to them. You know, and, you know, with my best friend who was at the Oscars, and his work actually won the Oscar. That's the thing. Like it was his work that won and then somebody else took the statue. And I said, doesn't that make you angry? He's like, I'm a pro. I got hired for a job. I did the job and I got to walk on the red carpet and go to the after parties and be at the Oscars. So no, I'm not angry. So anyway, but with him, like sometimes we go 2 years without even speaking to each other.
Right.
But I mentioned before, like he came to Rome for 2 days on my 50th birthday because he wanted to be with me on my 50th. You know, that was like the best present I ever got. But then I said once, you know, a couple of years went by, I said, you know, we got to stop this, you know. I said, let's schedule a quarterly call. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Actually, today was our quarterly call. So every 3 months, we have a phone call and just catch up, you know, and he told me all about the Oscars and everything. And anyway, so yeah, but I guess my point is if you go 3 years without talking to somebody, yeah, unless you're like family, like it's hard to kind of pick that back up, you know, in a weird way.
I have a couple people in my life that, I can go a few years, 2, 3, 4 years easy. And it just starts up all over again. In fact, I
it's
just
like
saw
no
somebody.
time has passed, right?
Right. Yeah. I just saw him on my drive back from GDC. I stopped in Santa Cruz and I saw a good friend of mine. I hadn't seen her since her wedding 2.5 years ago. I don't think we've even spoken since then. But you just sit down and chit chat, and it feels like no time has passed. Few people, though, can you have that with. It doesn't really work with everybody.
No, and I think it depends on the friendship. You know, I think that all relationships have, what the hell? Anyway, I think that all relationships, did you see that thumbs up?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was weird.
Pops up.
I think there are different levels to all relationships, right? And there are, like you and I are in the beginning part, right? Because we have not known each other that long. So, you know, that relationship will eventually make progress and deepen. And, you know, I still got to get you to come out sometime to you and your wife, Sheila, right? Yeah.
Sheila.
You guys should come out. So, but let's do this. We're behind on the chat.
Yeah.
Let's just catch up on that. Yes, we are absolutely friends, Jasmine. I agree. Spin is working overtime. Take it easy. It's funny because I was thinking earlier, man, I'd love to go to Italy. Well, one day I'm going to bring all of you guys here. I don't know when, but probably in my retirement and, you know, whatever. So also forgot a huge personal incentive, not just a place I always wanted to see. Aw. Well, if any of you are ever in Italy, and I still feel terrible, JT, he was in Italy. I was having a very difficult time though. And, I missed him, and I really regret that, and I'm sad about that. But anyway, another time. Just reminded me, Bobby, between my friends and I on a road trip, we were doing some catching up. Forgot what specifically made me say, but I did drop David's quote, everyone is entitled to their secrets. I agree. I mean, that's exactly it. You have secrets from, you know, my life is pretty boring. I have none. But you know, I really have nothing, you know, I don't have any secrets and I can't think of anything in my life that I would ever keep from my girlfriend. I just can't think of anything, you know? Right. You know, I'm very honest about, you know, everything, even things that she's not going to be happy about. You know, so, but everyone is entitled. If you have secrets, those are your secrets, man. You don't need to tell the secrets to anybody, you know? We need a David Logan quote book. And what would go in that book? Be authentic would be the first thing in the book. Oh, wait, I can't. There we go. Be authentic. That would be the very first thing. And the second thing, whatever you do in your life, do it with love.
With love. Yeah.
Whatever you do in your life, do it with love. It's true, man. Like,
it's one of those things. I don't remember. Somebody said it, asked you something about, you know, how to get a job or how to find someone in the industry and work with them. And you said that, and it's one of those things that until you really understand it, it sounds like such bullshit, and it's a really frustrating thing to hear.
Yeah.
But then when it clicks and you understand, you're like, yeah, of course. Of course. You have to be authentic. You have to be decent and just a genuine person who cares.
Bobby,
because otherwise it won't work.
Why did you switch careers?
Right.
Because you love music.
Yeah. Because
and so much so that you're switching your career. So that is with love. You were doing music. So I can see why it would sound that way, but I don't mean it in like a hippy dippy spiritual way. I just mean like, if you're going to do something, put love into it, man. Like just, even if you don't like it, change your attitude, you know, and find the very best thing that you can find within the situation. Because you know what? That a situation only has power that you assign to the situation, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, and it sometimes it can overpower you and you lose, but if you can win, then do your best. So yeah, I mean, do everything with love. You know, I'm here because I love sharing knowledge. I love that somebody thinks I should have a quote book, and all these guys are great. But let's continue.
Right.
Nick says the beat, LOL. JT Ska is winking. See, that's something I realize, but my explanation is quite simple. Family is forever. Yeah, whether we like it or not. No amount of arguing can biologically separate my brother and I. Yeah. We're friends. It's beautiful, man. Whereas friends are your chosen family, we have absolutely no obligation or incentive. I disagree with that, because I feel a massive obligation to both Bobby and to Emmanuelle,
I think your chosen family could be even stronger than your biological family.
Well, they say that friends are the family you choose, right?
Right.
So incentive to motivate us together, but we choose to be because we grow to care each other. Yeah, but okay, it's different because they're also my business partners. That's why I have obligations to them. Okay, that's fair. But if Bobby called me and he needed my help interpersonally, like I would feel an obligation to help him, and I would help him, Right. Jasmine says, you got to love, you also got to have that level of understanding that you don't take an offense if your friend doesn't reach out for some time. That's right, Jasmine. That's exactly right. So let's see. My favorite DAW quote is "Play Mutant Academy Kurzweil synth solo here." That is a good one. The way I see it, you have to make active efforts with friends or lovers. True. Because unlike family, you want to be with them and you want them to not only like you, but to commit. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's wrong, Nick, Look, I think that I have always believed this, that there is always an ulterior motive for every kind of relationship and every kind of interaction. There's always something that somebody wants to get out that they're usually not talking about. And I try to be, very upfront about those kinds of things, My ulterior motive with Emmanuelle and Bobby is that I want Orb Soundworks to outlive me. That is an ulterior motive. Has nothing to do with our day-to-day business operations. And, if I pass on, which eventually I will, and they both say, well, you know what, we had a good run and, I got a job offer anyway, so let's pack it up with Orb. I would be shaking my fist from the grave, but that would be it. That would be it. But that's a real ulterior motive, and it's completely 100% egotistical and selfish. There's no more authentic way of being than I am right now. It's a selfish thing to want your studio to, carry on after you. But there's also.
Oh, you just bought a bunch of new stuff too. So. Oh, it'll carry on. Don't worry. Yeah.
That's right. You're gonna get all this the modular goodness.
Nice.
No, yes, the ARP 2600 and the 2500 and the System 100M and man, and the Super Jupiter. Don't forget the Super Jupiter.
Yeah, I know.
And the Super JX
and the MKS.
You're gonna get it all. You guys are gonna get it all. So. I did promise my virus to Phoebe Joy, though. I said, but, you'll get everything else. You guys will. So, but no, the point, there is a selfless as well, because look, I'm not going to get into my family, but let's just say I had a very difficult time growing up. And so for me, like my studio, I've always wanted it to be like the family I never had. That's kind of that's the other selfish thing, but it's also selfless because if I want it to continue after I'm gone, that doing everything with love part and, as Orb grows, who knows, we might bring Spin to come and help us with certain things. Who knows what will become of Orb in 10 or 15 or 20, 30 years. So, but hopefully that feeling will stay of just, do it with love, do everything with love. Yeah, I know it does sound a little cheesy, but I don't mean it in like a spiritual
when it clicks, it makes sense. They tell that to people who start programming. They'll say like, you just have to keep doing it it'll eventually click.
Yeah.
And it sounds stupid. It's like, what the, how is it going to click? And it clicks. And then you're like, you just see the world that way. Like, okay, I get it. I
That's right.
fundamentally understand it.
That's
and
right.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's all good stuff. I lost my train of thought, but anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that you know, you can develop symbiotic relationships both professionally and interpersonally. You know, so in addition to my friendship with Trevor, you know, he needs music, I need money. It's, you know, I get paid, everyone's happy, you know, and I have a friend, you know, as well.
Right.
So, and then, you know, you sort of have working friends that, you know, and this is like the guys in Stockholm when I went to set up their audio pipeline, and they're like my working friends, you know, but some of them, I would invite them to my house for if I lived in Stockholm, which I don't. But it's an interesting topic, actually.
Right.
Hey, anybody in the chat? It's very quiet. Anybody have any questions for Bobby or for myself?
Hey, Phoebe's here.
Oh my God! Speak of the angel. Speak of the angel, and she shall appear. I was just saying, Phoebe, we were talking about my mortality and what would happen to Orb after I'm gone. And Bobby was like, well, you bought some new analog synths, so we would get all of that. And I'm like, yes, you would, but you would not get the virus because I promised that to Phoebe. So I didn't forget, Phoebe. You're getting the virus, okay? I'm just saying. I did promise that to you. How's it going? Yeah, I mean, you know, all things considered, well... Yeah. My girlfriend and I are looking to get a larger place to live, so that's kind of exciting. And I should probably.
How'd that go? Didn't you see something a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that on my stream, but yeah, everything's going great in that regard. And yeah, I should be moving in the next 6 months, seems. So by September, I'll be in a new place. Yeah, for sure. Well, not
more
for
room
sure.
For more analog gear.
More room for, oh yes. And I've already designed my room. I designed the studio space, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. Oh my God, it's going to be so amazing. Oh, so if you go back years to my old streams, I had a studio desk, beautiful, beautiful studio desk. I still miss it. It's such a good desk. Yeah. And the new space is going to be so big that I'll be able to have it behind me. And it's going to have all the modular analog synths on the desk behind. So yeah, it'll be really, really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to it. So let's see.
How are the... I was just going to ask, how are the synths doing? All the gear.
I have literally not had much of a chance to even like do anything with it. Honestly, like I've done a lot. Like I got new racks. These are new racks. If you go back and you look at the old racks, like you will see they look different. They have a thicker black outline. And so I've literally just been wiring and oh man. All right, let's do this. You want to talk about wiring here. So let's see, where is it? Let me go. I literally busted out the uniter, and probably most of you guys will not know what the uniter is, but that's okay. So here it is. So well, there it is. It's that blue thing, the 3 rack spaces, 1, 2, 3. Right. And so they work together as one giant MIDI interface. So I have 24 ins and 24 outs of MIDI. And so now everything is being hooked up through this so that they show up in Logic with the names I've assigned to them. And so, yeah, and there's still more to go. I only got a certain amount up. So these are all still to go, these guys over here. But yeah, when I'm said and done, it's about 19 or 20, pieces that will get put in. So I've been doing a ton of wiring and technical work and behind the scenes work to make all this stuff work super smooth, man. So
yeah.
And then audio cabling so that everything, is, immediately available. And, I can't decide which rack to put the patch bay in, if I should keep it where it is or move it over here or over there. Anyway, so I've had no chance, man, to really like play around and noodle.
Right.
But at night, before I go to bed on my computer in the bedroom, I got VCV Rack. And for those that don't know, it's a free, completely modular, amazing synth. And the pro version turns it into a VST plugin. So anyway, so I've been learning modular there. So I watch YouTube videos about modular. And then I practice on my VCV, and it'll be all the same. It'll be
right.
Let's catch up on the chat. Phoebe says, yes, I love the virus. You're 100% right. My team here is not just my coworkers. They're my legit friends. Absolutely. Even my mother, I brought to, oops, this is in the way, our 1-year anniversary party, and she had the time of her life and spoke. So that's beautiful, Nick. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. She was so happy, she was so happy, and I haven't seen her in such a long time, and it made me very happy that she was so endeared by everyone. Nick, that's just beautiful, man. Beautiful. Phoebe Joy says, I got a really cool library brief through this week. It's a classical rework project. Oh, wow. I get to choose any famous classical piece and, oh my God, and rework it. Got to make it sync friendly, of course, though, for ads and promos. Yeah, for those that don't know, Phoebe is a working composer, and she used to book tutor sessions with me at this online university, and I got to know her very well and developed a very lovely friendship. And she has come here to Italy, and we have actually in the real outside.
She was on the stream, right?
What?
Was she on the stream? Or she didn't quite make it on that day.
I don't recall.
No.
But the point is, Phoebe Joy is a real friend, a cherished friend. And for those who are just wondering, the library brief, what that means is she writes library music. That's one of the things she does. She also scores film. And anyway, so a library brief is when a library company commissions a composer to compose music, and they say what they want. Like, I want it to be jazzy with electronic beats or something, whatever it is. So what they're asking for is any famous classical piece and rework it. You want to know what I would do if I had to do this assignment? Without question, it would be one of two things. It would either be Bach Aria in G from the orchestral suite in D, or the Samuel Barber Adagio for strings. Those would be my top picks, man. Those two. I did a full tonal harmonic analysis, in fact, of the Aria in G because my girlfriend played it. She had this like easy piano reductions from her piano teacher. So she was playing it, and I heard it every day, and I'm just like, oh my God, Bach, you're killing me with these beautiful harmonies. And so I did a full harmonic analysis, and it just, like always, every time I do an analysis of his music, it just blows my mind. The elegance, the complexity, simplicity at the same time, Anyway, so that's great. Glad to hear it, Phoebe. Nick says, even my boss's kids and I have gotten along well. Fantastic. It's really, and you know what, Nick, like stay there. That sounds like a great place to work. It's really become something special. And mind you, my boss's mother-in-law was the one who I initially met and found the job by. And I'll forever be grateful. That's beautiful, Nick. I'm so, so happy to hear that for you, man. Really, really, really happy to hear that. Because if you had asked me this just 2 years prior, I wouldn't have been a believer. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the world is a really shitty place, but I try to believe the best in people, you know. I always try to believe that the best in humanity, you know, and I try to see that as well. Oh, there's that thumb again. Weird.
I'm not sure if it's the way I'm holding my thumb.
Probably. I don't know. But why did it do it on my side? I don't know either. Anyway, whatever. This is something I don't think the stream doesn't see it, so it's okay. In Zoom, when you put your thumb up, you get an icon of a thumb up. Anyway, it's not on the stream.
Oh, okay.
Not sure what pieces to choose yet, as there's so many, and I don't want to butcher it. I was thinking of the Adagio for strings. Dude, do it as a trance with the JP8080, the super saw, and some viruses in there, man. Do it as EDM trance. I know it sounds strange, but it can be wicked cool. Wicked cool. I saw a guy with the JP80 who was like, kind of did a cover of it. And it was it was amazing. So it is possible and doable. Oh, we have Mason Gregory. Hello. Years ago, you made 2 songs that featured a different female vocalist on each. Oh my God, you know Cold? Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh yeah, man. How do you know Cold? What were they, and are they available? Dude, who are you that you know Cold? Who are you? Anyway, it's the same singer I hired for X-Men Mutant Academy. Yasi, her name is. Okay. Yeah, she was...
she's Persian, right?
Persian girl, yeah, Persian. Yeah, beautiful Persian girl. Yeah, my girlfriend even gets jealous of the past, you know, and she's like, did you kiss her? I was like, no, she was married and she was 8.5 months pregnant when she sang it. My girlfriend's like, that doesn't matter. Did you kiss her? I was like, no, I did not. I had a professional relationship only. She's like, okay, fine. Mason Gregory, who are you and how do you know Cold? Nobody knows Cold. Like,
can we
no
hear
one.
Cold?
So for those that don't know, when I was living in Hollywood, I made like a side project band. I had one band called Profit. Okay. And we put out an EP. We even did vinyl. It was really cool. This is sort of at the height of trip hop, when trip hop was like super popular. And I made this other band like a side project, and I just called it Cold. It was just called Cold. And well, now we got to hear it, don't we?
Yes.
We got to hear Cold. All right. Yeah. We're going to listen to Cold. This is incredible. Nobody knows Cold. Reveal yourself, Mason. You must reveal. How do you know? No, how do you know Cold? Was it like up on like Napster or something? Because I found some of my music on Napster back in the day. How do you know Cold? How could you possibly know Cold? I need to know. This is killing me now. My goodness. All right, songs and stuff. Oh my God, this is so old. This is like so old. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we're going to listen to this. So cool. All right, here it is. Here is Cold. Live bass player, by the way.
Empty inside, nothing left to give. It's cold out.
I had a real DJ spinning, by the way. His name was DJ Love. He was great.
DJ Love?
DJ Love.
With love.
All my answers.
You're going to hear the DAW drums. Ready for the DAW drums? Here they come. Here they go. real singing. No help.
Wow.
Yeah, she was an incredible singer, Yasi. Just amazing. Loved working with her. I was coaching the bass player, like all those slidey, bendy things. I was breaking them. Just please do it. No, that way, that way. And where DJ Love came in with the spinning. I have him spinning on another track. Sorry, that beat. Straight. Where I got him to spin my vinyl of my song, my EP, and he spanned my vinyl, which is like the coolest shit I ever experienced. Banga alert! Mason is not revealing himself. Cool. How could he have known? How? I don't understand this. Nobody knew about this project. So, for those that don't know who Guy Osseri is, he was the head of A&R at Maverick Records. Maverick Records in the 90s, that was Madonna's label, and, you know, Alanis Morissette was signed. Like, really cool artists were on Maverick. Everybody wanted to be on Maverick Records. And I was recording in the studio that was owned by Madonna's manager. She was also part of, you know, Maverick, and her manager was also, they were all connected to Maverick. So I was recording in the studio, and I did several projects in his studio, Freddie DeMann. And it was called Brooklyn Recording originally, and then 1-on-1 South. Anyway, Mason Gregory, reveal yourself. Anyway.
I need to know too.
I need to know how did you know?
I did figure out.
How did you know about Cold? I have no idea how you even knew about that. Thank you, Mason, for your kind words. But now reveal yourself. I'm so curious. Anyway, so the engineer that I was working with, I hired him on several projects, including some album projects. I mean, when I was in LA, I was making records also, you know, in addition to music. And I had a great network, and I knew players, and I brought players in. And anyway, the engineer, because he was the engineer, and he was a real friend, and he was part of the Cold project, you know. He didn't wind up doing much, but in terms of, like, he mixed, and actually I mixed that, but whatever. The point is, I hired him on X-Men to help me on that. Oh, look at that. We got another one of the people, one of the pack people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. You get, for joining us, a Brahm. There you go. You get a Brahm. That's your gift from us. Anyway, so long story short, the engineer brought the Cold project, which was a 3-song EP. There's other songs, by the way. And Guy Osseri said something to the effect of, because I was not in the meeting, Justin was in the meeting, my engineer and friend. He literally said, "This is the year 1998. It's too modern. I can't sell this. In 20 years, it might be marketable." He said, "I can't sell it. I can't do anything with it." So that was my big one chance, you know, with Maverick Records. And I failed, you know. Well, I didn't fail, but the music failed to be, well, hold on. Music failed to have commercial appeal in his, I mean, Think about it, right? He's right. He's not wrong. Where's the hook? Where's the bloody hook? There's no hook. There's no chorus. It's all feeling and mood and artistic expression. That's not going to sell. He's right. He was correct to reject it. Although the other song, Set Me Free. Oh, should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's just do it. No?
We still don't know who Mason Gregory is.
Yeah, we still don't know. It'd be really nice, Mason, because I want to know, like, do I know you from back in LA? Like, how do I know you? Super Andrew, hey, I'm a friend of Miles. I just wanted to pop in. Thank you for coming to the stream. Say, I love the track you played. Thank you. Overall stream so far is also really nice, and I thought I should add a smile. Hey, beautiful, man. Let's give you some Orb love. Ready? Here it is. Orb Soundworks love. You're getting some Orb Soundworks love there. So, all right. So this song, I would have to say, I believe is commercially viable. Here it is. Same singer, same producer, no live bass. Even though there'll be a nice chorus, it's a slow burn. You know, it's not a big pop catchy hook. Although I got a funny story about that. That's the next song. Anyway, we'll just listen to the chorus and then I'll play another song. Out of tune. You set me free to walk away from this world. Fly with me, and we can dream together. You set me free. It's a great hook. And, you know, but yeah, I don't think that would be a number one big hit. All right, I got one more song to play. Okay.
I think that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad.
It actually brought me back to, like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
98, 99.
I think, yeah, that's that year for sure.
So, you know, Baby Hit Me One More Time by Britney Spears, which is written by Max Martin. Smash hit, her breakout hit.
Right.
So that thing was all over the radio in LA. And at that time, I was very, very close friends with Mike Reagan and another video game composer. And we kept hearing this song and, you know, and I was just like, dude, that is fucking not even a hard song to write. He's like, oh, you think you could make a Britney Spears hit? I said, of course I can. He's like, okay. I challenged thee to a duel. He's like, okay, go ahead. Right. Now, Britney Spears, I did not use Yasi because Yasi has that sultry, sexy, syrupy. I needed somebody with pipes, right? You know? So here it is. This is called Let It Go. And it's my Britney Spears pop hit. Live bass, always. A hit. It is.
very beginning.
Guess which bongos? You have those bongos. Those are the bongos. And I put the orchestra in. The bongos! You all have these bongos now. Anyway. Yeah. So
that was great, man.
And I won the challenge.
It. Yeah. That's
a pop hit. That is a pop hit. So, Jasmine, be safe, okay? I don't want you rocking out of the car seat now. I hope you have a seatbelt on. Yeah, Spin, I'm glad you noticed the bongos because you have a copy of those bongos, those very bongos. Okay, but Mason, you're not answering the question of where did you hear the song? Like, was it on YouTube? Because I've never, as far as I know, I never released it, ever. This is the mystery. Like, how and where did you find it?
I mean, if he wants a copy of the songs, I think he's got to at least tell us.
I think so. Yeah. Listen,
where did you hear the music first?
Yeah. Where did you hear it? Is it on my website? Like, where? And Nick, I think that's a hit. You know, I really do. You know. Yeah,
that's great.
Maybe it's not such a good hook. I don't know. It's okay. But the point is, it was a pop hit, you know, and I put orchestral elements and everything. So, but I won the challenge. He was like, "Oh fuck, man!" And by the way, that is Mike Reagan playing the bass part. By the way, that's Mike Reagan on bass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he played on quite a few of my sessions. In fact, he played guitar on Pitfall 3D for me. A bunch of sessions. Yeah. Great guy. One of the best guys I know. We're not really friends anymore, but, you know, people grow in different directions sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? That's all that happened there. So, anyway, well, I mean, well, okay, so Spin is asking, do you think a song made with the Pac-Man World 2 motif would make it a top charting hit? Funny enough, JT Ska was asking me the other day because he wants to now do a ska version of Pac-Man World 2.
That's cool.
Right. So it might become a pop hit when he's finished with it.
That's very cool.
So we'll see. Anyway, this Mason guy, he just won't tell me. Mason, I'm telling you, man, if you tell me where you heard it and how you heard it and who you heard it from or with, I'll give you the song. You don't have to download it. I'll email it to you.
Right. Yeah, I'm desperate to know myself.
I really I can't understand.
How did you come across that song? When?
Yeah, when? How? Right. Oh, right. And JT, I'm sorry I did not answer you. I think just the straight specials, two-tone ska, you know, 80s revival, second wave, you know, English beat, you know, a beat. And yeah, I'd love to hear it too. So he's working on it right now. He's got the files, so we'll see. It's on my SoundCloud. Is that the secret here? The mystery has been solved. It's on my SoundCloud, really? Okay. I don't know if it's on my SoundCloud, honestly.
I don't think that's enough.
Well, that would explain everything, wouldn't it?
Well,
it doesn't matter anyway. Maybe that's where it is. I don't know. Is anybody on my SoundCloud? Can they check?
Phoebe says she found it on your SoundCloud.
Okay. Mason, it's solved. So can't you download it from SoundCloud?
Right. I was going to say that then why ask too?
Maybe he wants the David Logan on his hard drive version.
Oh, the uncompressed original.
The original as it was recorded.
Right.
Yeah, so I love making pop music, but like I'm out of the game, man, you know. I mean, I put out my solo album, and there's quite a few, I would say, pop hits. Wine and Song, I mean, that's a banger.
Yes.
That's a banger.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, hit song. I think so. Right. But I think now I'm 20 years behind.
Yeah, pop has...
It's a different thing now, man. It's just different.
It is. Definitely the mix. It's a lot wider and...
Yeah. Bobby was very helpful on my solo album project. He was my trusted set of ears and made a lot of... by the way, the mastering preset that we wound up settling on is now my main one on everything.
Okay, nice.
I just literally use it on every project now. So,
right.
You know, it's great. Sounds good. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Are we getting close to wrapping it up?
We're an hour in. I think if there's any questions anybody wants to...
Yeah, let's answer the questions and just see, did I miss anything here? If I recall correctly, I think Hit Me Baby One More Time wasn't written by a native English speaker. Yeah, Max Martin. He's Swedish, the guy who wrote it. Thus the question would be, have hit me. Yeah. All right. Don't know so much, just read the comments, but what I do know is that, yes, it was, in fact, everywhere. It really was. The DAW touch. And now you guys have the DAW bongos that were featured in that song. Chart-topping material. It's a conspiracy. Not bad for a demo. I imagine Britney did take it. No, she didn't. I wish she did. I assure you it would have been a hit. I think it would have been a hit. I really do. It was a strange hit, but glad to hear JT's working. Now I'd love to hear that. Well, soon you will. The track is on your SoundCloud page. Okay. Yes, it's on. Okay. Phoebe found. Okay. So now the conspiracy is solved. I didn't know I uploaded it.
Only partially.
Honestly, I don't even know if I'm comfortable having it on there. Like, is Set Me Free also there? Because she's so out of tune on that song. Oh my God. No, it's ridiculous how out of tune it is. There was no auto tune yet when I made that. So as far as you remember, you didn't give like anyone else a copy at the time, right? It's completely... Yeah, it was unreleased at the time, correct. But apparently I put it on my SoundCloud. So Phoebe Joy found the link. Thank you, Phoebe. You're awesome. Only one mix of it though. Yeah. Oh wait, that wasn't easy. Or that was easy, right? Only some tracks can be downloaded. I see. I know I couldn't with World 2. I tried that. Well, I would love to release World 2, but the Namco lawyers weren't so happy about that last time, right? So
yeah, it's there. If you go to our website.
No, I mean for downloadable. Is it downloadable from the website?
I mean, if you have the right tools, you can always get stuff off of YouTube.
On the SoundCloud, it's not the complete soundtrack. There's some missing tracks on there.
The complete soundtrack you can definitely get and download. If anybody needs help, I can help. Okay. Yeah. But
anybody?
Yeah, no, it's out there.
Okay. Anybody? Yeah, we talked about a lot. Anybody have any final questions that they want to ask me?
I got to tell you, I really enjoy looking at those synths behind you. The flashing lights are just fucking
lights.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're actually flashing or if it's just the refresh rate not syncing with your.
Is this? It's not flashing.
Okay.
This is not flashing.
Okay.
Actually, nothing. Only the ARP and the Mo effects.
Oh, it is. Okay.
These are flashing for sure.
Right.
Nothing else should be flashing. It's all just the refresh rate handling its business. David, can we expect a second album? Oh no. You know what, Jasmine? I'll say this. Like, I have enough material to probably put out 5 or 6 albums at this point.
Wow.
I do. I have a lot of material. The thing is, the amount of time, energy, effort that went into putting out that first album, you can't even begin to imagine how long it took me to make that album. Because I wanted it was going to be my only album, you know, and I really did it. I have to be honest and authentic here. Okay, so my girlfriend kept pressuring me. You know, these songs are great songs. The world should hear these songs. You have to release this music. And she put so much pressure eventually that I just said, okay, fine. But I didn't really do it for me. I did it more for her. Not because I wanted her to stop complaining about it, but because, you know, in her eyes, I would be brave. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It's like in her eyes, I would have done something great with my songs instead of complaining about how I almost got signed to Maverick Records, but I was too ahead of my time. And I'm not bitter about that at all, right? Like, especially when, you know, he was exactly correct. And the fact that he even listened to it, I mean, that's like,
huge.
You know, that's huge. Guy Osseri is like one of the most powerful guys in the music industry today. So, you are dangerous. Oh, stop it, Jasmine. Stop it. Stop. Just stop it.
Right.
Yeah. No, so I really released that album, so that I could say, you know, I'm a recording artist on Spotify and Apple Music, and you can listen to my songs and me singing. And so then during the process, so I didn't release it for me initially, but then, I put my artistry. Then all of a sudden the bug was lit, and I was just like, make this a great record, and I did my best. But the answer to your question is more than likely not. But I will tell you this: when I move eventually, and I've got everything kind of set up, and, you know, everything is really stable in life, because right now things are not stable. So I think I would argue, I'll tell you what, Jasmine, I will release a second album as long as you put a little pressure on me once in a while. So if it's not out, well, she said it, we're friends, we're real friends. Right. So if you're my real friend, then you should really, you know,
push
me a little bit. That's what a good friend does, you know, push a little bit. Anyway, so it was fun listening to those songs. I doubt there's going to be a second album. I doubt it, but Jasmine has said so many nice things about my hair. I have to do a second album for her. That seems only fair. Am I right?
Right.
Just remind me. I'll tell you what, Jasmine, what we can do, maybe not tonight because we already heard 3 bangers. But if you remind me on the stream, I'll play you some of the unreleased songs. Oh, there's some really good stuff on there, man.
Right.
Like, there's some really seriously good stuff on there. Do you know how originally I wanted 18 songs on my album, and my girlfriend's like, it's too many, you know, like just 13 is the perfect amount, you know. And I was like, you're right. And it was like one of the most painful decisions of my life, trying to decide which songs to cut.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, that's a Latin song. The other's a Latin song. And then I have this one sort of a Middle Eastern inspired track. Oh, that one is so fucking beautiful. It's really, really lovely. And there was nothing like it on the album. I'm like, oh my God, how can I cut that? I had a ballad, beautiful, just strings, piano, and my voice. It was just such a nice song. There were so many beautiful songs that got cut. The problem with just sort of bunching them together, throwing it out there, it won't meet the same quality of the standard of quality. Won't be the same. So I have to again go in and do all that work, and it's a lot of work. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of work. Yeah, and one of the songs I did in the same time I was doing Cold. It was another like I had all these side projects going on, and
well, it's Hans Zimmer calls it. Sometimes you have to kill your baby.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a piece of music that you write. You're like, I love this little tiny bit, but it just doesn't fit. Just doesn't work.
It's correct. That's exactly right. I guess I'll tell you what, Jasmine and everyone on the stream, I will release another album. It's just a question of when. Woo! Yay!
How do you get the
Dreams of You?
Flowers.
Honestly, Dreams of You is like my yesterday, you know?
Right.
It's my timeless classic. That there will never be a song like Dreams of You. That is such a poetic, beautiful, tender, sincere, you know, and my favorite line, I am so in love with you. What can I do? I can only dream of you. Like that is, every time I hear that, it gets me. It just gets me, you know, and let new life grow. Let my love show. Some good stuff, man. I have some good lyrics. I think I have some good lyrics. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my my sort of I'll never do anything as good as that. I mean, this other song, the other ballad that was supposed to, oh fuck, see now I kind of want to play it again. Kind of want to play that ballad, but no, I'm not going to. It's called Sleep My Love, and it's very tender and very sweet and innocent. It's a song of innocence, you know? So it's beautiful. But yeah, we'll leave that for another day. Tell you what, Jasmine, every time I stream, remind me to play you one song off of the upcoming album, and I'd be happy to do that. One or two, you know, why not? I mean,
yeah, we can start.
It's our podcast. We can do what we want on our podcast, right? So, and thank you guys for telling your friends, because one of, I think, Spin's friends stopped by to just check it all out. And, you know, if you guys want to help out and just, you know, spread the word. I mean, you know, build and grow our little community. That'd be nice. Right. Since we're here, will you ever fully release your World 2 styled song? Oh, that's a great point. Right. Yeah, I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6. And they're
music
all
inspired by, right?
What's that? Yeah, exactly.
Music inspired by. Yeah.
Exactly. All original compositions. And I think that's something that could be a very interesting topic for the stream, so that we, let me just go here, and I just want to see exactly like how many actually do I have. Original ideas. There we go. So, Smoking in the Pack Room. I get it. The back room. Anyway. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 tracks. Smoking in the Pack Room. There's another. Yeah, these are good tracks, man.
Yeah.
These are really nice, actually. Okay. Yeah, some are better. I love this bass line. This is so Pac-Man. This is so Pac-Man, using all the original sounds. Anyway, I think we're good for tonight. I think we should wrap it up.
Sure.
And thank you, Bobby, as ever. I'll be also signing off immediately from our video because I gotta go.
Thank you.
At this point. Cool. Well, thank you, everybody, like always. And
always.
Like I always say, I think the purpose of life is to find some purpose in life. And I think the meaning of life is to find some meaning in life. Thank you guys all again. And we will see you next time.
Next week.
Yeah, same time.